Yesterday, 8.2 talked about the properties of parallelograms. Today, we're going to talk about how to prove that a parallelogram, a quadrilateral, is a parallelogram. I would suggest that when we get to the end of this page that you pause your video and write these things down. So there's basically 5 ways to prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram. You can show that both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. They don't have to be the same length, but their opposite sides are parallel. Number 2, show that both pairs of opposite sides are congruent. So we have both pairs are parallel, both pairs are congruent. We can show that both pairs of opposite angles are congruent. So we have sides parallel, sides congruent, we have angles are congruent. Both pairs of opposite angles. Number 4, one pair of opposite sides are both congruent and parallel. And I'm going to add the word both here. So the pair of opposite sides are both congruent and parallel, as in the diagram. And last, we show that the diagonals bisect each other, as shown in the diagram. Okay, so our first example is example 1. The figure shows part of a stair railing. Explain how you know that the support bars MP and NQ are parallel. Here is NQ and MP. These are the support bars. Well, we have a situation that it looks like a parallelogram, and we have the opposite sides are congruent. So we have both pair of opposite sides congruent. We have 3 feet is congruent to 3 feet, and we have 2 feet is congruent to 2 feet. So we can say that MNPQ is a parallelogram. So if it's a parallelogram, we know that the support bars MP and NQ are parallel. Our next example, example 2, suppose you place 2 straight narrow strips of paper of equal length on the top of 2 lines of a sheet of notebook paper. So we have AB is congruent to CD. If you draw a segment to join their left ends and a segment to join their right ends, will the resulting figure be a parallelogram? Well, we have the opposite sides congruent. They're on top of parallel lines on your piece of notebook paper. So these lines are also parallel. So the figure ABCD have opposite sides both parallel and congruent, so it is a parallelogram. Symbol for parallelogram. The last example we're going to use, extra example 3, we're going to use as question number 1 on the response form. So you need to make sure you answer the question. It says, for what value of x is the quadrilateral RSTU a parallelogram? In other words, we're going to use one of the properties to show that it is a parallelogram. Hint, hint, it has something to do with the diagonals. So please respond in question number 1.